Welcome back, everyone. We're at week 3 with Forgiveness is a Choice by Robert Enright. I'm Stephanie Lee, evidential medium, doing my monthly book reviews for my healing journey, on my journey to mediumship, and forgiveness is a huge part of that healing process. So I want to go back through sort of the end from last week and just touch over those 6 questions again, just so that you have them, and so we can move past that and into the next section of this. And so those 6 questions were: are you afraid to expose shame and or guilt? Has your anger affected your health? Have you been obsessed with the injury? Do you compare your situation with that of the offender? Has the injury caused a permanent change in your life? And has the injury changed your view of the world? So at this point, you've kind of made your decision to commit to the choice of forgiveness. And you want to kind of start asking yourself, don't you want to be happier? Don't you want to elevate out of this? Don't you want to get to the next steps? Because anger and resentment are just going to carry this huge burden inside your body. So you're getting ready to go here. And so the next set of questions are, you're going to start the turnaround here. So you're going to look at it from a different perspective. All right. So your first question is, what was it like for the offender when they were growing up? What was it like for them? Did their parents reject them? Were their parents not loving? Did their parents beat each other up? Were they verbally abusive, physically abusive? Did their brothers and sisters do physical or mental damage to them? Or other family members? Or were they ridiculed at school? Or what was it, right? At the time of the offense, what was the life like for the offender? Now that they're, older now, what is their life like when it happened? What is it like just from a global perspective? Does this happen every day? Is it happening everywhere? Is it just happening here? So you kind of want to look at it from that perspective of the offender. Put yourself in their shoes. What is it like for their life, right? Maybe they don't know any different. They don't know how to act different. This is all they know, right? I'm not saying it's right. I'm not saying, that what they did was right to you. I'm just saying you need to look at it from a different perspective. And as you do this, it brings in that compassion, right? It brings in that sympathy. It brings in loving another person and forgiving that other person. So remember, at the beginning of this forgiveness process, the idea of feeling compassion and empathy or love for the other person might have just been out of the question. Heck no, are you kidding me? You want me to be compassionate about this other person and love this other person? No way. And at some point, I've been there, so I know it's oh my gosh, I can't even imagine being compassionate toward that person. They're just making it enrage me, right? It's oh my gosh, no. But then you have to get to a point where it's you gotta just let this stuff go and just go, you know what, they're a person too. They come to the table with their own set of beliefs and their own set of issues, right, that they've grown up with or dealt with in life. They're just a person just like you. You have your own set of beliefs and you have your own set of issues. We always carry around these little bags. Hey, here's my issues. Woohoo, right? And you take them with you wherever you go. So if you can just learn to let it go and know that they did it because of something that occurred that you are not aware of at all, right? And just give compassion and love. So in conclusion on this, if you are able to forgive, you have now learned how to deal with it a little bit more constructively, right? You've learned to go through the emotions and you've learned to feel the pain. and you've learned to understand where that pain is maybe coming from, or maybe you still don't know where the pain is coming from, but you know that it's there and it still needs discovery and you need to work on it, right? And as you do that, you were kind of breaking all of those ties to take all that out on your family, all that hurt. You know, maybe you've built it up over the years, and then all of a sudden something happens, something triggers you, and you just explode. And that is not something you want. You want to show your family members that you understand how to be compassionate and forgive people, so that you teach them how to be compassionate and forgive people, so that you break that cycle. You want to break that cycle and not let it continue for the next generation and the next generation and the next generation. But this is something that, yes, you can learn on your healing journey how to do this. So I encourage you to break that cycle. I encourage you to be the example for your children, or for your nieces and nephews, or for other people in your community, to be the example of how to forgive. And know that it's going to just feel so much better, and you're going to just feel kind of like that weight is lifted up off of you, just ever so slightly at first, and then as time goes by and you learn to forgive more and more and more, it becomes easier and easier and easier. Just like we've said with everything, it takes practice. It's a daily practice. So I forgive you. I forgive myself for whatever has happened here. Just know that it will set you free. Anyway, have a great, wonderful day, and we will finish up next week with a little bit more, how to dig a little bit deeper into forgiveness, and then the following week we'll do an exercise together. And no, this doesn't require weights or a yoga mat, all right? So anyway, I will see you next week. Take care. Bye.